everybody, welcome back to Real Good Pilates. I'm Michelle, and today I have for you a lower body stretch class on the Reformer. So we're really gonna get the legs especially stretched out in every which way, and I hope you love it. So let's go ahead and get started. We are going to start off with our feet in the straps, and I encourage you to do maybe a little bit lighter on the spring tension than you typically do for feet in straps. So for me, I typically do more like 2 reds, but today I'm going to do a red and a blue just so it's a little bit more lighter and we get more mobility going on for our legs. Okay, so come on down onto your back. You can have your headrest adjusted however you like. So pushing off the foot bar, get your feet in one at a time, and then reach your legs out on a nice low diagonal. Have them parallel, ankles and knees together. Find a nice neutral spine, and then we're going to start with a bend and a stretch motion. So we're going to bend the knees, flex the ankles, and bring our knees towards our hips, and then exhale, push away, reach through the knees and the toes. So we flex and bend, and then we reach long away. Good. And again, we're really going for mobility, getting some nice range of motion through our legs. So it's really nice to articulate the feet here. So don't neglect that ankle movement. Flexing at the ankle and then reaching away. So good. And we're counteracting all this movement of the legs by stability through the spine. So maintaining your neutral. If you can't maintain your neutral, an imprinted spine is also good. Let's do that one more time. Now end up with your legs long, reaching through the toes, and then go into a lift and a lower. So you're going to breathe in as you float the feet towards the ceiling. Exhale to lower down. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Yeah, so really focus up at the top. See how far you can let those legs come towards you without losing the curve of your lower back. And you're going to feel this nice release through the hamstrings. Yeah, so maybe even go a little bit slower than normal, kind of holding up at the top. See if you can eke out a little bit of extra stretch. Very good. Let's do 2 more. And since we're not on super heavy springs, should feel really nice. So good. All right, now reach the legs long on the diagonal. Now one of your legs is going to do one of those 2 movements that we've just practiced. So we're going to kind of put them together. So one leg is going to bend to tabletop as the other leg floats straight up. And then as you push the legs back, they'll end up side by side. And then we do the other side. One bends, one reaches, and then you push away. And it's almost like you're walking up the wall and then press. So good. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. And if you want to think about what the feet are doing, it's a little bit tricky, but you're just going to flex the ankle of the bending knee and then point it as you reach back forward. Yeah, so it's the same exact ankle movements as we did with both legs. It's just a little bit trickier to do one of each. Yeah, now keep going with this leg action. Reach your hands up and grab the ropes. When your legs get close to you, give a little bit of a pull on the ropes with your hands, and then just kind of let the ropes run through your fingers as the legs reach away. So kind of this loose grip. The ropes run through your fingers, and then as they get close, you pull the legs towards you. Inhale out. Exhale in, grip near the hardware, and pull. That's it. So now we get that additional help from the arms to really get a nice release through those hamstrings. Very good. All right, let's do this one more time. Whew. All right, now hold with one knee bent, one knee stretched. Keep a good grip on the ropes, and then go ahead and just kind of pedal through the feet. So you drop one heel to your sitting bone, and you drive the opposite heel up, up, up. The more bent your elbows are, the more intense the stretch will be. Good. Try to release tension wherever you don't need it. Now let's bend both legs and stretch both legs together. So bend and then reach. Good. Try to keep the elbows at least somewhat bent, so you keep a good pull onto those straps, down and then up. Yeah, try to pull the toes back towards your forehead and open up that sole of the foot. Very nice. All right, bend your knees, set your hands back on the mat, and push your legs away from you. Whew. Okay, we're going to try that whole set now, but externally rotated. So point through the toes, externally rotate so you're in a V, heels are together, toes are apart, and you're turned out from your hip sockets. Now let's go into our bend and our stretch from here. So we're going to flex the ankles just like before. Knees are bending in a diamond shape, and then you press and reach long through the toes. So kind of like a frog, bending and then reach away. Inhale and then exhale. Yeah, so think kind of shoulder width apart is about where those knees are aiming. You don't want to flop them too far to either side, then you'll kind of disconnect from the inner thighs. So you want to feel kind of supported equally from the inside and the outsides of the legs. All right, let's do this one more time. Really get those feet and ankles moving. Now pause, pointing through the toes, and lift the legs straight up in that turned out position, and then exhale to lower down. Inhale, feel like there's an imaginary little fairy up there on the ropes, giving a tiny extra pull at the top, and then lower down. The spring fairy or the rope fairy, I don't know, somebody up there grabbing onto the rope and just giving a tiny extra pull. See if you can release enough to allow maybe an extra centimeter of range. Yeah, let's do that 2 more times. And again, we're on these lighter springs, so we can kind of play around with trying to find a greater range of motion as long as it's coming from the hips and not from the spine. Now stay here with the legs reaching long, and we're going to go into a straddle. So just separate the heels from each other, let the ropes pull the legs back towards you, and then press the heels down and forward to meet together. Inhale to open, exhale to close. Good. So depending on the mobility through the hips, your feet might have to reach higher towards the ceiling. Maybe they'll be able to stay lower and cut more in a straight line across. It just depends on where our hips are at today. But you want to make sure you're pulling your legs back enough to feel a stretch through the hamstrings as well as the inner thighs. So from where the camera is, and you can see me, my hip and my foot about end up in line with each other at the end of my straddle, and then in. And just depending, everybody's going to be a little different. Your feet might have to be a little bit higher when you get into that range. Good. Last one. All right, now just like before, we're going to combine a bend and stretch on one side, a long leg straddle reach on the other. So going into our stag shape, we bend one knee, open, and then we return. Inhale, and then exhale. So we've already set up our angles and these patterns of movement. Now we're just kind of jumbling them together. Yes, and if you're feeling pretty good with the leg action, try adding in the ankle action. So the bending knee, that foot gets to flex and then points to reach front. Flex on the bend, point on the reach. Yes, and we should be getting the same angles in the hips on that straddle as we did with 2 legs. So make sure you're not rolling your pelvis to one side or the other. All right, now when the legs come towards you, let's grab the ropes and add a little extra pull from the arms and then reach. So same as before when we were in parallel, we just kind of let the rope slide through our hands until we get to that stag shape and pull. That's it. So we're still moving. We're not getting stuck there, but we're just giving a little extra tug. So good. Let's do that one more time on each side. Amazing. All right, now let's pause in this stag shape. Keep your grip, elbows stay bent, and then let's just transfer which leg is bent, which leg is straight. Yeah, and my carriage isn't moving much maybe a little bit, but I'm just kind of doing a little like jig with my legs side to side. There we go. You don't have to worry so much about the feet here. Just think more about the hips and the knees. All right, now let's reach both legs out straight into our straddle, and then let's bend both knees and then stretch both knees. Bend together, stretch together. And as you find your straddle, the more you pull up and back with your hands, the better that stretch will be in the hips. Very good. Let's do 3 more. Open and close. 2. And then last one. So good. All right. Bring the legs back to parallel. Push them away from you. Have the hands back by your sides from your parallel legs. Let's take some nice circles up, around, and down. Yeah, so just passing through all those positions, letting the ropes tug you into a nice stretch. That's it, you guys. Good. So it's not so difficult to push down into the straps since we're on these lighter springs. So think about more the top of the range of motion where the ropes are pulling you into that stretch. Yes? Okay, now let's reverse the circle and go the other way. And we're not grabbing the ropes, but almost pretend like you were, or somebody is. At the top, feel like there's a little extra pull on the strap to bring the legs closer to you. That's it. Good. Keep a nice little gap under the low back. So if there was like a blueberry underneath your spine, you wouldn't crush the blueberry and compromise your spinal position just to get bigger stretch through the legs. So everything's a balance. All right, one more. So good. So now let's turn our knees out, spin the soles of the feet together, and take a little butterfly stretch here. So grab the ropes, pull up on the ropes like they were suspenders, kind of drag them up towards your shoulders, and you should feel a nice hip stretch here. And then just let the feet fall forward towards your sitting bones or towards the springs. And you should get more of an inner thigh, kind of groin stretch. And we'll just kind of move back and forth between those. So pulling up on the ropes to stretch more glutes. And then pulling down on the ropes, let the feet travel forward to stretch your inner thighs. That's it. And just keep it in a range that you are comfortable with. Yeah, so it's nice, kind of passive, letting the ropes do the moving of the legs. Very good. All right, now we're going to take a hip flexor stretch while we're here. So kind of get the feet back up away from the springs. Let's do our right leg first. So I'm going to leave my left leg where it is. I'm going to detach my right foot from the left. I'm going to lift it up and internally rotate my knee and then drop my foot towards the floor. So both of my knees are bent here. And then I have control with my hands. If I pull down on the ropes, the stretch is going to be less intense. If I pull up on the ropes, it's going to be more intense. So you have the control with your arms. Yes, so kind of find that zone where you get enough stretch, but it's not too intense. Very good. You can even just kind of rock back and forth of pulling up and pulling down. That feels kind of nice. Yes, now feel free to stay here with 2 bent legs, or take your left foot and reach it out to the side into more of a straddle, almost like you're a trapeze artist at the circus, and feel that stretch. So that opposition brings more stretch to both legs. Good. Take another breath or 2 here, pulling up on the ropes if you can handle it. Good. Angle that right knee more forward and in towards the machine. All right, bend your left knee, draw the foot back up, use that arm on the rope to help pull it back up to your butterfly, and then we'll do the other side. So your left foot is going to detach. You internally rotate so the knee comes inside of the rope line, and then slowly ease it towards the ground. Good. Now try not to let your ribs flare. Think heavy. Keep your nice neutral spine. Good. And then kind of play around with those ropes, pulling and pushing till you find your ideal stretch. Very good. And then if you're ready for the next level, open that right foot out to the side. It's okay if it doesn't get all the way straight. Good. Breathe here. Try to relax into the stretch. All right, bend that right knee. Bring the left foot back up. All right, take your left foot only out of the strap and place the foot onto the foot bar. Now hang that strap up on your shoulder rest because we're going to need it again in a minute. Okay, we're going to do a little bit of a stretch of one leg at a time. So left foot is on the foot bar. I've got the rope in my right hand and the strap on my right foot. Now reach the right foot up to the ceiling and get the leg as straight as can be. Feel a gentle pull on the rope with that arm till you feel a good hammy stretch. Now we're just going to get moving here to loosen up. I want you to push off of the foot bar with your left heel just a few inches and bend your right knee. Now sink back down and extend your right knee. So we're bending and then stretching. Yes, so my two legs are kind of doing opposite things. I'm bending one, stretching the other, and then I switch. Yes, and the carriage is just moving a few inches back and forth. And every time I straighten my right leg, I see if I can get it a little bit closer to my body. Yes, so we're kind of gently encouraging this leg to stretch. Yeah, and this foot that's on the foot bar is kind of controlling the depth of the stretch. So pushing and returning. Very good. All right, now bend your bottom knee, extend the top knee, and we'll do the same thing but out to the side. So let your right knee fall off of your center line, but keep your pelvis square on the mat. Now, I want you to bend your strap knee as you push off the bar a little bit. Straighten it as you sink back down. Whew. So I bend my rope knee and stretch my rope knee. That's it. And I know the coordination is kind of funny, but stick with it. So as I bend my knee, the carriage pushes out. As I straighten my knee, it sinks down. And I'm able to get more stretch through that hip. Whew. Very good. 2 more times. Push and bend. Return and extend that stretching leg. Whew. Okay, now reach the leg straight. Pass the rope to the opposite arm. This one tends to be a little bit more intense. So if that's true, you can push slightly harder into the foot bar leg. Now I'm going to take this leg across my body. I'm holding the rope with my opposite hand. Even just dropping the leg across, you should feel already a little outer thigh stretch going on. So now we kick off of the foot bar. I'm going to bend my knee and then I return and stretch my knee. That's it. Now on this one, as I bend the knee, I like to try to turn my foot and try to have the sole of my foot look towards my shoulder. That's going to give you a little bit of piriformis stretch, so a little bit deeper in the hip and return. So I kick off the foot bar and bend the knee, sink down and stretch the knee. Yeah, it doesn't have to be perfect. We're just kind of easing in and out of the depth of this hip stretch. So good, you guys. All right. Now, bring the leg back to center. I want you to reach up and slide the loop so it's up over your ankle. Now, it's going to be a little bit more intense. Take your bottom leg and you're going to reach it up and over the foot bar until your calf, your ankle, or your heel, the back of your leg, is resting on the foot bar. Yes? The further over the bar my bottom leg is, the more stretch my top leg gets. So there's that direct relationship. So you find where you can handle to rest the leg on the bar. And then once you've found your deepest stretch, I just want you to rest your arms on the mat next to you, and we're going to take a few deep breaths. Yes, and as you find more relaxation through this top leg, you might find that you can slide your bottom calf further over the foot bar. Whew. If at any time it's too intense, place your foot on the bar to stop the stretch from going so far. All right, now keep your breath going and see if you can just wave your top leg slightly to both sides. So go out to the side and then over across the body. Open and then close. That's it. Keep your pelvis pretty well grounded. As your leg goes across the body, you can roll your hip off the mat slightly. Good. Be sure to take big, deep breaths. Holding the breath is not helpful to our stretch, so let it all go. Whew. All right, reach up, grab the strap, pull the leg towards you one last time. See how far over the bar you can get the bottom leg. All right, now replace the foot on the bar. Take your top leg out. Oh, and let's do that all on the other side. So hang your strap up. Grab the opposite side. We'll start with it on our left foot. Our right foot is on the bar. Okay, grab the rope with your left hand, same arm as leg. And now we go into our slight little bend and stretch. So I push out and bend my top knee, sink down and stretch my top knee. Push and then pull. And I'm staying active on the back of this leg. So I'm kicking into the strap as I bend that working leg. That's it. Good. So keeping tension on the rope. The more bent my foot bar leg is, the more stretch my strap leg gets. Very good, you guys. So instead of just sitting in a static stretch, being more dynamic and passing through these ranges of motion is super beneficial for improving our mobility. So we're trying to keep moving, but get into these nice ranges. All right, now come down, reach your top leg straight, open the foot off of center, keep your pelvis square so both hips are down. Now we kick out and bend the strap knee, sink and stretch the strap leg. Push and then in. That's it. So good. So bending and stretching, pushing and pulling. Good, you guys. And really actively use this arm to get that thigh as close to your torso as you can. All right, pause with the strap leg long, pass the rope to the opposite hand, let the leg fall slightly across your center, and then we go into that same pattern of push and pull, push and pull. So good. So it's like a team effort to stretch this hip. All the limbs are kind of working in tandem. Push and return. Good. So as the carriage gets closer to the foot bar, that's when we sink into our deepest stretch, and then we kind of reprieve ourselves to bend and return. Good. All right, one more time. Ah, so good. All right, bring the leg back to center. Slide the strap up so it's over your ankle. Okay, here's our intense hammy stretch. Take your bottom leg, reach it up and over, and relax it down onto the bar. And then see if you can breathe out. Release tension in the back of the strapped leg and see how far you can drift over the foot bar. So you might be behind your knee on the bar. Maybe the bar is on your calf or your ankle. For me, it's right about on my calf. That's all I got for today. Good. Now set your arms by your sides, close your eyes, and just try to breathe in and out here. Feel your left hip, try to draw away from your ribs so you're not hiking up against that tension. All right, now just start to wave your foot gently from side to side. It can be very small, just a little wave, little windshield wiper in and out. So good. If it's too intense, pull your bottom leg a little bit back off of the bar. All right, reach the foot up to the ceiling, grab onto the strap, take one last pull, get a little more reach of the bottom leg forward. All right, brace yourself on the foot bar and slip your leg out of the strap. All right, roll yourself over to come on up. Okay, we're gonna do one last stretch up on our knees. So that was a lot of hamstring stretch right there at the end. We're gonna get it back into our hip flexors a little bit. So let's go down to just a single red spring. Get into your single thigh stretch position. So outside foot on the floor, inside foot back against your shoulder rest. Light touch on the bar. Get tall through your spine. As you exhale, you're going to drive the hips forward, glide the carriage back, and open up that psoas, that quad on the stretching leg. Very good. Now inhale, you're going to come up out of that stretch. As you exhale, sit your hips back over your heel, extend your front knee, and bend your elbows, and just fold over that front leg. Inhale, bring your body back up, and do that again. Exhale, we sink into the thigh stretch. Inhale, stack, and then exhale, lean your pelvis back, lift your front toes off the floor for a little hammy stretch. Good, do that one more time. So alternating between the two, stretching the front of the back leg and then the back of the front leg. Okay, now we're gonna kind of combine these together into one element. So now we come up tall. We're gonna go into the thigh stretch first. Then we're gonna keep pressing back, add in the straightening of the front leg and the toes lifting. So now we're doing both stretches at once. Roll the foot back down and bring your body up. Do that again. Exhale, sink down. Inhale, push away, lift the toes. Exhale, return the foot. Inhale, come up tall. Good. So this is a lot more intense, doing the thigh and the hamstring stretch together. Yeah, let's do two more. So we look at the floor in the split, and then we look forward to restack. Last one. Very good. All right, crawl over. Let's do that on the opposite side. So nearest foot to the shoulder block, chest tall. Okay, so we're going to break them up at first. So we do thigh stretch by itself. Return, sit your hips back, and do the front leg hammy stretch all by itself. And then we come up. So 4 very clear separate movements. 1, we sink. 2, we lift. 3, we hinge and lengthen the front leg. And then 4 to come up. Good. One last time, and then we'll combine these together. All right, bring your body up. Find your thigh stretch first. Now let your gaze travel to the floor as you push off the front leg and lift the foot, and then reverse that. Roll the foot down and stack. Good. So 2 breaths to push out to your split, 2 breaths to come in and up. So good, you guys. 2 more times. Feels so good to combine those 2 stretches. Last one. All right, and with that, we are all done with our lower body stretch class on the Reformer. I hope you feel limbered up and amazing, and I really hope you enjoyed it. So I can't wait to see you back here on the Reformer with me very soon for our next workout together. So I will see you then. Bye. You did it. Way to go on completing today's workout. I hope you feel amazing. If you want to see even more from Real Good Pilates, click the link down below or right up here to head to my website and claim your 7-day free trial for the Real Good Pilates on-demand subscription platform, where you'll find even more fun and challenging ways to work out with me that are all completely ad-free. Plus, tons of subscription exclusive workouts that you won't find anywhere else. So I hope you'll try it out, and I can't wait for you to join me for even more Real Good Pilates. I'll see you over there. Bye.